Will you get Pozyomka? Short answer, well, probably. Should you get and build Pozyomka? Short answer, yes. Long answer. This entire video.
あなたがドクターですわね。お初にお目にかかりますわ。そしてどうかお礼を言わせてくださいませ。この醜悪な大地の上で束の間の居場所をわらわに与えてくださってありがとうございます。
Avdotcha Razor Pen, codename Pozyomka, is a 6-star heavy shooter sniper from Ursus, the only non-Duran inhabitants in the subterranean city of Seruatsar. She used to be the daughter of an Ursus noble, until her entire family died in a political conspiracy. The young Avdotcha managed to escape the slaughter and ends up in Seruatsar. The carefree and kind Duran welcomes her and soothes her painful experiences, and at one point became the literature representative for the city. After the Ideal City event, she was sent by the mayor to Rhodes Island as a representative, and is now active as a field operator, using a crossbow that was meant to be a fountain pen, and a modified typewriter to be used as a projectile in battle. Although her past makes her cautious and distant towards non-Duran, or surface dwellers as a whole. But soon enough, she will realize the surface also have its beauty and virtue. Pozyomka is a 6-star featured in the Gavial Alta Limited banner, and the second 6-star heavy shooter after Schwartz. So, will this number 1 Duran lover be a great operator for you? Let's find out. Pozyomka is a heavy shooter sniper. A single target sniper that has a short range. But they are a capable single target damage dealer. Their attack hit hard, especially with the help of their talents and skills. Now let's see Pozyomka's general stats. Has a pretty high attack to deal with low medium def enemies with her normal attack. She also has the ability to summon a turret that you might want to use immediately after she is deployed. So luckily her DP cost isn't too big. And when compared to Schwartz, she has a slightly bigger attack stat. Okay, now for her talents. With her first talent, she can summon a turret dubbed the typewriter. This thing will stay for 25 seconds. Acting as another attacker unit, have the same skill as Pozyomka. Its stats level up concurrently with her level like most summon unit, and have a pretty similar attack. So basically you can have another Pozyomka in the field if it's deployed. The typewriter is very useful to double the damage to the enemy, or can be used as a flexible way to attack the enemy from anywhere on the map. Either because Pozyomka can't reach them or for other reasons. Especially this typewriter can't be attacked by enemy, and has a slightly longer range. Definitely useful in a certain situation and stages. Like this Frost Nova stage where the cold debuff will affect her attack speed. But the typewriter will be just fine and dandy. Additional note, the typewriter's attack will only be increased by using Pozyomka's skills. So you can't buff the typewriter, or buff Pozyomka hoping to increase the typewriter's attack. Now let's see her second talent. This will make her typewriter even powerful, by reducing the enemy's defense in each attack, lasting for a few seconds. And if the typewriter is placed in her 4 adjacent tiles, the defense reduction will be increased, help dealing even more physical damage to the enemies, and also gives her a support debuff utility to help other allies. Overall her typewriter is very helpful. It is one of the things that makes her a top tier unit up to this day. Now this is her potential. Sadly, unlike Gavial, there's only one talent enhancement. But overall it's a good improvement from potential. Now let's talk about her module. Her first module is the Y module. It will make her deal critical damage and ignore physical dodge when she attacks an enemy in the tiles ahead of her, and increasing her max HP and attack. An awesome level 1 module if I must say, considering those who have physical dodge can be quite troublesome, especially in Pozyomka's debut event. where the normal enemy have 100% physical dodge for crying out loud. But it will only work for herself, as her typewriter didn't get this ability. Overall, this is a very useful level 1 module that you should unlock. Unrelated, but it's a shame none of the other heavy shooter have this, because it suits their abilities more than a reduced redeployment time in X module. Anyway, moving to her module upgrade. Now this upgrade will further increase her HP and attack, and enhance her first talent. It will increase the attack of her typewriter, no duration increase or redeploy decrease. Just the attack. Might seems nothing extraordinary, but it is helpful to make her typewriter deal even more damage. Currently she doesn't have a second module, and I'm quite curious about it. But since it won't be released anytime soon after her release, might as well upgrade her module once you unlocked it. Considering she and the typewriter are a reliable damage dealer, and key unit in various content. Now moving to her skills. Her first skill. An offensive recovery skill that will increase her attack. And she will have some chance to deal high critical damage. On top of that, this is an infinite duration skill. And the typewriter's attack will also increase. This is a good early skill giving her more consistent DPS. Although you might find she rarely triggers her critical damage. As even with M3 it only has a 40% chance. And I doubt you lose this once you unlocked her other skills. So, let's see her other skills. Her second skill will reduce the redeployment time of her typewriter. And for the active effect, Pozyomka in the typewriter will attack 3 times, dealing critical damage to the enemies. This skill aims to make her typewriter much more versatile. And it might appeal to you if you want to use her typewriter as often as possible. Either to double the damage to the enemy, or attacking a certain enemy like this that spawns quite far from her or other unit. It's a useful skill especially in the early IS mode stage. Although this skill has its own problem. Like it cannot be used unless a target is in Pozyomka's range. So if you are using her typewriter to kill a tough enemy, and need the skill to kill it, you might find yourself unable to do it, because there's no target in her range. And there's also a target priority problem. If you didn't pay attention, she or the typewriter might hit an enemy that you don't want to attack. Last but not least, her third skill. It will expand her range to become something like a corecaster range. Reduced her attack interval, and each attack will deal critical damage. If attacking enemy directly 3 tiles ahead, increased the damage. Now this is one of the top tier single target skills in the game. When used with her typewriter, you can pretty much melt any elite or boss. Even if it's her or the typewriter alone, they can still deal a very high damage. And unlike her skill 2, you can activate this skill anytime you want. And because of the nature of this skill, it makes Pozyomka a good unit to be buffed. It offers big DPS, has good skill uptime, and is not a bad heli drop skill. For comparison, it's 1 SP lower than Schwartz. And let's not forget she can use her typewriter to deal even more damage. Now for skill mastery priority, as you might expect, it's S3 that you should prioritize. Considering the massive DPS it offers. It gains more from mastery than her other skills. Like it improves her damage, reduces SP, and increases initial SP. Skill 2 is quite unnecessary to upgrade. But it does make her typewriter to be used more often. So if you find it useful, you can upgrade it to M3. As for her base skills. For skill 1, when she is assigned to trading post. For every factory that is producing gold, will give plus 5% acquisition efficiency to that trading post. And with skill 2, for every Durin operator that is in the base, gain additional plus 5% acquisition efficiency. So, will Pozyomka become a good operator for your team? Absolutely. An awesome DPS unit, and versatile operator thanks to her typewriter. Although her best skill is at skill 3. But I'm sure a newbie who lacks a ranged DPS unit will find her useful. And it's a great investment option for later stages. and long-time players will certainly find her useful in general or more complex stages. On top of that, her debut banner is a limited banner, and consists of other awesome operators. So there's almost no reason to skip her. And if she appears in the future standard banner, I'm sure she's still a worthy operator to gacha. That should be all. Remember, peace is always an option. Adios.